All right, and we're back. Hey, everybody, it's Anchorman here, back at episode 32, maybe 32.5 of the Multiverse podcast, the greatest
What do you
podcast on
mean?
Mondays.
This is the first time we're recording this.
This is the first time. There's been no other possible thing that could have possibly happened besides Microsoft constantly making these crappy updates where it's every single day there's a new update. It's like every single day there's another update, and it shuts down my computer halfway through, and it's like, nah, screw this. Like, I'm so sick of this, and that's another topic for another day. Anyway, we're gonna pretend like that never happened, and we're gonna move right along. So our panel tonight, we got our usual guys. We got Nick, aka Undead.
Glad to be here again.
For the first time.
For the first time.
And we got our other co-host for the evening, James.
Here on take 2. I mean take 1. Yes, it's a great pleasure to be back on Multiverse. If you want to talk to me about anything and everything, I will literally talk to you about anything. Just come talk to me. I need friends at James_S Wilson.
And we got our guest for the evening, Slaver1.
Howdy, guys. Yeah, this is definitely my first time being here, so thank you very much.
I mean, that's still true. That's true either way.
I do not lie.
All right, so we're gonna speed right along and cut out all the filler to catch up where we missed off. So yeah, we had the PlayStation 4 Pro launch this week, so a big round of applause for that. Give it a moment.
Yes. Well
Brand
done.
new console.
Can I say, do you remember the launch of that? How it was basically PS4 Pro and ASMR launch. That was amazing. Anyway,
that whole reveal event was not the best thing.
oh no, the best part of it was when one of the guys, I can't remember who it was, but he came out. It wasn't Cerny and it wasn't Andrew House. It was some other guy, and he came out and his microphone wasn't on, and you could hear the backstage of the headphones going, his mic's not on, we need to get him a new mic, his mic's not on. It was fantastic. 2 minutes of that. It was great.
Yeah. So anyway, the Pro came out, and it's been kind of interesting seeing all the reactions to it. There's been some people who've been really praising it, saying they really love it, and then there's some people who are like, yeah, take it or leave it. Personally, my brother picked up one just a couple days ago, so I got to see it firsthand and see the difference. We don't have a 4K TV, so I got to see it on the 1080p upgrades. And well, let me talk about the pros of it that I saw so far. See the pros of the Pro. See what I did there.
Oh man,
the design is a lot better than what the first what the pictures looked of it. It's not nearly as fat as it looked in the pictures. I mean, it's about as tall as the original Xbox. I'd give a guess, or the original Xbox One, and I mean it does. It's not like a looker. It's not like a showpiece like the original PlayStation 4 in terms of design, but it's nice. It fits into your cabinet. It doesn't really stand out, and I'll take it. And it was nice. The upgrades were interesting. Not really noticeable. Like we were saying that we were watching Battlefield 1, and we were watching FIFA 17 doesn't have any upgrades to it, at least not until I think it's this week. They're supposed to do a patch for it, but I mean it didn't look that much better. I don't know. I couldn't notice what the real difference was, but that's just me. I'm not like a big graphics person in terms of like the little stuff. I like big jumps and graphical upgrades. So that's what I saw, and this podcast is kind of addressing that. What are your guys' impressions about the PlayStation 4 Pro from what you've seen so far?
First of all, I want to say it's way too early to start thinking that we've mastered 1080p because we haven't. And I think it's unwise for everyone to be jumping on the 4K bandwagon so early. I think we need to wait a couple more years. But then again, we're already here.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I just think the whole thing's a bit unnecessary right now. Give it a couple more years. When 4K TVs come down in price, then people can get a TV and a console, and it doesn't cost around $1,000 or £1,000, which is too much money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Because for the most part, a lot of this technology it's become cheaper over the years because more and more people keep buying it. So yes, it's gonna naturally take a little while, but there were upgrades in our past with I don't know, TVs and stuff like that where people just jumped on it instantly, and it made things a lot cheaper, a lot quicker. Became more available.
And that's a good point. I mean, with TVs, though, in particular, I mean, whether or not 4K becomes mainstream this holiday, I don't think it's going to be. I feel like next year is going to be about perfect in terms of the 4K market, because normally the HD TVs didn't really blow up until they hit around that $300 to $500 range, like on average, like for name brand TVs, not like Westinghouse or some random brand. It was like Samsung, Sony, maybe Vizio, something like that. Like like a real a name brand. Like when those hit that critical price point, that's when they really start flying off the shelves and the mass adoption takes place. So I mean, I think it's like proactive of them, just like, hey, we got a console that can support 4K in some regard. They're looking towards the future in that respect. But it's not really built to do native 4K or anything. But any last any ideas, Nick?
I don't know. I think it's hard to say with the 4K. Like, yes, in order for things to get more affordable, like people have to buy into it. Like does anyone remember the competitive disc that came out with Blu-rays? I think it was like the red case, the HD.
I think
disc,
they the red ray.
The HD
the
DVD.
disc.
Yeah, those did not fare well against the Blu-ray. But it took a long time for Blu-rays to catch on because of the price point on them. Like, it was ridiculous. I remember going into Walmart when I was younger, and it would be like, oh, I can get this movie for $29, or I can buy it on Blu-ray for $45.
Wait,
no
what
thanks.
film cost $30 at a DVD?
Yeah, you'd be surprised, man.
Yeah,
if you go to Walmart where I live, like when Deadpool came out, it was like $33.99.
Oh, that's Canadian dollars. Oh.
No, I mean, in the US, though, I mean, like, I just bought Evil Dead Blu-ray used, and that thing's like 6 years old. Like, I just bought that used, and I paid $15.
What's wrong with you people?
It's Evil Dead, man. You can't be hating on Evil Dead.
No. I'm not having a go at you or the film. I'm having a go at the price. That's too much for a DVD.
Man, you'd be surprised, man. I mean, they will.
That's more than I paid to see it in the cinema.
Yeah, I know. And I know, like, part of it's the whole digital media thing. They're trying to recoup losses because you can just watch any movie anywhere for any price, all for free. Oh. So I mean, they're trying to offset that by like, oh, look, you get it on Blu-ray and it's amazing, it's the best quality ever. So I mean, they're trying. I understand. I don't like it, but I understand where they're coming from. But anyway, back to topic.
Yeah, sorry. But like 4K, I'm just kind of laughing because a lot of the guys that I've talked to, because as a lot of people know, I'm looking into getting into PC gaming. I'm kind of branching away from consoles a bit more. And it's kind of funny because a lot of these guys that I see, they're like, "Oh, PC gaming's expensive. I don't know why anyone would want to spend that kind of money." These are the same guys that I've seen. They sat there, they sold their Xbox One, they bought the Xbox One S, and went out and bought a $1,500 TV to take advantage of the upscaling. And I'm like, you just dropped almost $2,000 to get 4K,
which is way more.
Which is to get upscaled 4K when you can get native 4K cheaper than that on PC. It's kind of ridiculous. The whole point of console gaming is to be a more affordable option, and by going 4K quote-unquote native, you're not making it any more affordable. And let's face it, the PS4 Pro and it's not even out till next year, but the Xbox Scorpio are redundant if you don't have a 4K TV. There's no point in owning these consoles if you don't have a 4K TV, unless you just want to buy the PS4 Pro and you don't own a PS4 already. There's no point in having one if you don't have a 4K TV, because you won't really notice the difference as much. There will still be a difference in FPS and everything else, but you won't notice the difference as much without a 4K monitor or TV.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and that's definitely a big point. I mean, like, I bought the Xbox One S, and I was going to bring it up earlier. I mean, like, I know I'm not taking advantage of it right now, but eventually I'm going to get a 4K TV, and then I'll be able to actually see the difference with HDR and all that kind of stuff. That's over time. And I mean, the Pro, I mean, even more so, because they said HDR support's coming to the original PlayStations, or PlayStation 4s, and it's like, well, the only thing to look forward to right now is the 4K in terms of, a major graphical upgrade.
And also with the Xbox One S, you have the DVD player.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Is it Ultra 4K?
Yeah, you can do Ultra 4K Blu-ray discs.
It's such a manly, man advertising thing to like put an Ultra in front of. Did I ever told you about the Stealth kettle?
Oh God. No.
There was because it's the UK. Everyone has a kettle. They marketed it. It had stealth, it was called the Stealth kettle. I just love the idea of, man, I really need some hot water, and then out of nowhere there is just there, and you think, oh man, I'm so glad I bought the Stealth kettle. Anyway,
so as a general thought here, with the PlayStation 4 Pro, there's been a lot of discussion about not just the reception of it, but in terms of how there's a lot of technical problems floating around that people have been hearing about. The believable one I could definitely see is the TV compatibility issues. There's been one larger issue that people have been having, whether or not their TV recognizes their PlayStation 4 Pro, or really vice versa, that their Pro recognizes their TV as being 4K capable or HDR capable. And so in some instances, people have bought these TVs to take advantage of it, and the Pro won't recognize that the TV that they have is 4K and won't output in 4K. And this isn't like small little brands like Westinghouse, and I'm going to dog on Westinghouse at any opportunity. But it's like, it's like LG and Samsung, and I mean, even Sony TVs are reporting problems. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And so I think that's a legitimate problem, like one that's not just something someone made up. But I think the other issue that I think is just complete BS is, the melting problem. I've been seeing these pictures floating around. I'm sure you guys have seen it too, of these pictures of the PlayStation Pro melting. And the big thing is it's in random spots. Like, it's not even like near the exhaust ports or where the GPU or CPU are located. It's just like random like corners of the system, or it just doesn't make any sense. It's like literally someone took a lighter to it, and it doesn't make any sense why.
Maybe that's Phil Spencer. Just traveling around, just doing it.
Just setting consoles on fire.
No,
you
just
know
for
what?
fun.
He'll never deny it. Therefore,
I will say
it's both true and not true.
I will say one thing in regards to console errors. All consoles have various different issues that may not be widespread. If there was to be a PS4 Pro that did actually have melting issues, I would not doubt it. My actual first PS3, my block PS3 that I bought, launch day PS3 I had to return it. Thank God the guys at EB Games were really good about it. But it would spit my games out. I would insert the game into the disk drive. It would make a whirring sound, and then I would shoot the disk about 8 feet. Wow. It had something to do with the disk tray or whatever. But that wasn't a widespread issues with PS3. That was just my specific PS3 that had those issues. So if there are overheating issues, I feel it's a very limited thing. Because if there were serious overheating issues, like I'm talking like Red Ring of Death Xbox 360 issues, you'd be seeing it on the forums a lot more. I don't think any fanboy, whether they're a Sony fanboy or not, is going to sit there and be like, yeah, everything's great with my PS4 Pro. Meanwhile, it's in a magical puddle on their TV stand. No one's going to lie about it not overheating. That's a general concern that no one would lie about not happening, but people would lie to say it happened. Like, to be honest, the one guy who got all that media attention that all the people are running with, that the picture of the guy holding his PS4 Pro, and there's that like weird like melted spot on his Pro. It looks like he was trying to like, I don't know, looked like he tried to like smoke marijuana out of it, like bundled it up in there and tried to smoke it out of his PS4 Pro. I don't know what he was thinking, but you could clearly tell it was not an internal melt. It clearly came from an external source, and he's clearly lying through his teeth about it.
Yeah, I do. I gotta say that. Like, there are people that are that desperate enough, and I mean, if that's the case with it, like if there really was a melting problem, why hasn't he returned it?
Yeah.
I've yet to see it, and it's always in these weird spots that doesn't affect if the game plays or not. Like, it's always these random spots. And I mean, I don't trust people like that now. But the only overheating issue I do kind of believe is I saw this video a while ago of this guy who was trying to play Infinite Warfare, and he put the disc in the game or in the system, and it already finished installing, and he boots it up and tries to play it. And it gets past the title screen. It goes past all the people who worked on the game, and it gets to the main menu, and then it freezes and just shuts down. And like you hear the systems working overtime, like you can hear it's like a jet engine, and like it's like it just cuts off.
And see that's a legit overheating issue. Like that's why when people talk about overheating issues, things you can directly correlate to overheating issues is you can generally hear the console working overtime. The game will freeze, or your system UI will freeze, and then you can't go to your menu. You can't do anything with the console. It basically bricks. You have to unplug it, wait a minute, replug it back in, hard system reset to get back up and running again. That's why I call it overheating issues. Like, I don't know why people are trying to go with the fact that the PS4 Pro is like a fire hazard. Like, it's not a Samsung Note 7, okay? It's not going to blow up in your living room.
Literally a burn.
I know, right? I was just like, please someone catch that. Please someone. Stop. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like, a lot of this stuff just weirds me out how this all gets handled. Like, it's just part of it is I don't like when people fake stuff, and like that's a legitimate concern to me. When you fake and you have to lie to for your own fanboy agenda, that's wrong. And I can't stand stuff like that. I can't stand faking stuff, or even like what was it? There was this whole thing like a couple of years ago about like when people were realizing that with these new consoles, you had to have your console set as a home console in order to play your games offline if you bought it digitally. And one of the things was like there was this one guy, I knew him, like I had known him in the Facebook groups, and he willingly made his Xbox and unhomed it, and then made an outrage video about why don't my games work offline? This is Microsoft trying to install the DRM. They're trying to ruin gaming. Getting all worked up over nothing. It's like, dude, we told you this last week about this, and you're out here making a video. I can't stand that. I can't stand people faking for attention.
People are strange and forget that what they're doing is having fun.
See, my biggest problem too is like if you say a person like myself, I have a very limited Twitter following. I like a very, very limited Twitter following.
You probably got more than I do, though.
It's almost non-existent. If I tweet out something, oh, PS4 Pro overheats and blah, 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 and I have no source for it, I don't own one or anything else, no one's going to look into that. And no one's going to run with what I say because I'm just a singular person. But it's these guys that have these huge followings or like quote-unquote figureheads of the community that will run with these lies and try to make something out of it. They'll start making videos, and then other people start making videos. And then you get this endless cascade of idiocy, and it just makes me disappointed in the internet and just makes me want to log out and disconnect my router and just never go back online again. It was the same thing as before the PS4 Pro came out. I think it would be about a month ago. Anchor's going to know what videos people I'm talking about. It's like they were sitting there in podcasts going, oh, the PS4 Pro overheats. We know because we have inside sources in Sony that are telling us that PS4 Pro overheats. It doesn't actually run games the way it should. And da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, how do you guys even know that? It's like a month and a half away from release, and you guys have inside information on a company that you do nothing but slag off on Twitter. I'm supposed to believe that any reputable Sony employee would tell you anything. Okay.
I don't understand why anybody believes any of that kind of stuff. Whether that be any news outlet or just Twitter, Facebook, whatever social media you see, there's always people claiming things with zero evidence of anything. And some of it's even posted on websites that everybody knows is complete BS. And yet it still gets a huge following as if it's gospel or, it is the truth.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that is definitely a concern. And like kind of shifting topics a little bit to the other issue, Xbox in particular, for their fourth month in a row, they've won the NPDs.
How dare they?
How dare they be successful? But I mean, it's just.
Well, that is the reaction of a lot of people.
Yeah, and I mean, definitely. I mean, they won the NPDs, which is just North America. I mean, hey, it shows that Microsoft. I think this is the biggest string Microsoft's had, which is a pretty big deal for them. Like they've done like 2, maybe 3 months in a row, but never 4. So I mean,
they're probably gonna do Christmas too.
Yeah, they might take November. You don't know. But it's just it's really strange to see how this is going to go down. With Microsoft, I mean, congratulations to them. I mean, that's great. I mean, it's not worldwide, but hey, I guess they'll take anything.
Well, should we be congratulating a company on doing something that is their job?
I don't know. I mean, they were doing
profit
for it, but I mean, it's nice to see them, do something okay. They get some respect.
Okay.
So, hey, I don't know. Give them something. But so the issue, I want to bring this up today because I want to get a jump on this for next week. Really, Nick's got background noise.
Yeah, crazy Nick. Yeah, I was about to say.
But like, there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen in the next week or so, namely Black Friday, and you're already seeing kind of the roots of it now. And I kind of want to jump out ahead of this. Yes, the Xbox One is winning the NPDs right now, but in going into this Black Friday holiday, don't think because you don't see any Xboxes on shelves and you see PlayStations on shelves means that Xbox is winning, and that goes vice versa. Don't think just because you see lots of Xboxes on the shelves when you go to a store and the only 1 or 2 PlayStations that PlayStation's outselling them, don't think that. That's anecdotal evidence. I hated seeing that for the last 2 years. It doesn't mean anything. You don't know what the stock was at the store. You don't know the situation. You don't know if it's a widespread issue. You're just looking at one particular store and you're judging the entire world based on that one thing. That's always pissed me off. Please don't do that this year.
Here endeth the lesson.
I was going to say, that's 100%. That's the same thing I said with PSVR. I don't know why it ended up happening. It got like 30 retweets. I tweeted out that PSVR was $549.99 in Canada for the whole bundle or whatever. And I tweeted out about it, how that my Walmart had a full stock of them just sitting there. They hadn't sold any. And people took it upon themselves to that, meaning that PSVR wasn't selling at all. No, in my tiny town of 15,000 people, PSVR is not very successful. Everywhere else, it's probably doing well, but in my tiny little town, it's not selling off the Walmart shelves. Walmart specifically. My GameStop sold over 30 of them, but my Walmart hasn't sold any.
Did you guys see the news that Game, the UK game shop, is charging people to test it?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's charging you £5 for 10 minutes and £10 for 30.
What?
I don't know. That actually sounds pretty cheap. Try getting that for an arcade game.
Yeah, but you can just do it for free. You can go to places and try it out for free.
Yeah, right now it's just one store doing it. It's like, really?
Having said that, so somebody was talking about this the other day, and then they brought up something that I initially didn't think of. That means that they have had to train at least 2 of their staff completely in how to use it, how to set it up, and how to tell someone else how to use it, and then to have one of those 2 at least stand there the whole day, taking away from other customers in the store and behind the till. So in terms of that respect, I actually kind of get it.
Mm-hmm.
That also means that they're probably expecting a lot of sales on it, if they haven't already had a lot of sales.
Yeah, well, here in the UK, we only have one place where you can get new games and hardware brand new, so they have a monopoly on that. They're fine.
Yeah, so they got that stranglehold.
Hmm.
All right.
Mm.
So
Xbox did well. Well done them.
Well, yeah, I was going to say good job to them because the Xbox One S has been a huge part of what swung them into this, because I believe they've been weighing every NPD since they've released the One S, correct?
I think that's right. I think they went August, September, October. No, wait, it was September. Yeah, it was August, September, October. So yeah, they won July, I think, as well, because it's 4 months. They won October. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So basically, since the One S has come out, the One S has been a very, very profitable venture for them. I think it's because Microsoft is starting to shed that negative feeling, and whether it's because they slapped the S on the end of it or whatnot, they finally shed that last little bit of the reputation from their 2013 release of the Xbox One, and people are actually starting to seriously look at it as a console. Like I've owned Xbox for the past, 9 years. I bought a 360 day one. I bought an Xbox One probably 2 years after launch because I didn't see a reason for it early on. And it's been a great brand. I've had nothing but good times with the console. And yeah, if the business keeps doing well, I'm happy with their success. I'd never ever wish bad demise upon any company because that affects people's lives, well-beings, and et cetera, et cetera. So the more money a company makes, the happier I am for them, because success is something we all strive for in our lives. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm not here to go, to go jerking around and, you just sucking. Like, I don't want to do that. I mean, it's nice for them, but at the same time, I don't want people to just focus on the sales and focus on, you gotta win this month, you gotta. I mean, it's interesting. Like, sales are just like this side little thing I look at every once in a while. Like, it's like, oh, that's a cool little tidbit. Like, it's not like a big thing for me, and I don't like seeing people put so much time and effort into it that it's got to have everything. It's got to be perfect. I just never really got into that, and I don't know. I just can't get it. I just can't get down with that.
I agree with you. I use my console for this weird thing that I don't think a lot of people on social media understand. I insert these weird little disc things into them. I sit down on a daily basis and I use my controller to play these games and try to get achievements and complete games and just generally try to have a good time with it. And I don't really care how well it's selling. I just want it to sell well enough that they keep making games for it so I can keep playing it. That's the importance of sales to me. Sales are important, but do I care if a game I'm enjoying sold 50 million copies versus 2 million copies? No, I just want it to sell well enough that I get a sequel, if it's a good game. Bulletstorm, we don't want a sequel. Please stop.
Please stop.
On the other side, every time there's a game launch, somebody in one of my circles goes, "Guys, this is the time when Knack 2 is gonna arrive."
God,
Oh, man.
Knack 2, Inglorious 4K. You know what?
I'm not even gonna lie. That was one of my favorite tweets from one of my friends. He got his PS4 Pro day one or whatever. He's like, "Man, I've been waiting my whole life to play Knack in 4K."
You know something? Knack is okay. It's genuinely okay. But that's all it will ever be.
There's nothing wrong with that. Not every game has to be a 90 Metacritic game. You can have a game that's just decent.
Games can be fine. Tetris, if it was released today, would be great, but it wouldn't get a 10.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Whoa. Yes, it would.
Hey, I am on the side that Tetris is the greatest game ever made, but if it was released today, it wouldn't get a 10.
But like
it's riveting.
Some games just don't need to be solid AAA games. Like I just finished over the weekend. I bought it for $5 like 3 months ago. I just finished Murdered Soul Suspect, and you know what? That was a really good game. I really enjoyed that. It was obscenely short. It only took me like 8 hours to beat. There were so many collectibles in that game. I thought I was going to kill myself. But
yeah,
it was.
Sorry. You go.
It's a really good game. Like, would I recommend spending $60 on it? No. But it was a good game that I picked up for a decent price, and it had a good story, and I had a good time with it. It was all in all, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. But I still had fun playing it. So.
Yeah, I mean, last year, my game of the year was Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, which is available on PS Plus this month. And that was £16, and it was only 5-6 hours. But it's all you need sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I don't know, man. I guess I'm just a different person. I realized this a while ago. I realized the games I love the most are games like that are just AA games. Games that they're not necessarily triple A's. They're really not, but they kind of exist in this realm where anything can happen. Where they have the budget and the production quality, they just don't have that polish to it. Whether it be like little gameplay quirks or maybe a little graphical stuff, but like games like Metro or Sniper Elite, like these games aren't really AAA games; they're really AA games. Like even Mafia, I would say, is not really a AAA game. Like it's been kind of thrust in that position for this year, but I would never consider it a AAA game. I mean, I like those games because there's almost less stakes involved. Like it doesn't have to be the best game on the planet.
See, and I think that's what a lot of problems I find with like exclusives are right now. Everyone thinks every exclusive has to be a AAA, knock down the doors of your Walmart to grab, but not every game has to blow your minds. Like, for example, I got the We Happy Few for game preview, and a lot of people were kind of like disappointed in that game for what they delivered so far. I thought it was a nifty little game. I had a little bit of fun. I didn't have AAA standards set on it. It was a nifty little game. I'm looking forward to the full release. And yeah, not all games have to be like Skyrim and BioShock and Call of Duty and Battlefield. They don't all have to hit that level. Sometimes those cute little $9 indie games are just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's true. At the same time,
a game like Minecraft. That game is still awesome to play. I'm afraid to sit down and start playing that because next thing I know, it's like a week later.
Yeah,
I forget how unbelievably successful Minecraft is sometimes.
Yeah, man.
They still sell. I think they sell something like 15,000 copies a day. Still,
That's
everybody in the world not have it already. Then, like I swear,
I don't have it.
Some of these games, are people just like, I don't know, deleting it somehow, and they got to buy another one?
I just gotta buy another one, I guess.
Well, I mean, I guess it's only $5-10, so they felt it was worth 60.
I mean, hey, a lot of the stuff, it's down to your preference, man. It's just down to your preference.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, oh, there you go. So if you want the actual how successful Minecraft is, on the Xbox 360 version alone, they sold 12 million copies. The mobile version, they've sold 21 million copies in the Minecraft Pocket Edition. PlayStation 3 version sold 1 million copies in the first 4 weeks. And in total, they've got something like almost 84 million, I think.
Damn.
And that's not including PC stats either.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, don't even get started on that.
And not to mention the illegal downloads of it.
Yeah,
That's
hold
true.
on here. Yeah, so holy, yeah. On average, they make $63 million US for Minecraft in just North America alone.
And then you got to remember that massive space modification they made to it that came out this year called No Man's Sky. That was wow. I mean,
I was gonna say, are we still doing the milk carton with Sean Murray's face on it? Has anyone found him yet? Or
Yeah, he came back when their Twitter account got hacked.
I actually saw him on the bus in like 2 weeks ago.
He was all grizzly.
You should have kidnapped him. Perform a citizen's arrest.
As soon as I realized who it was, he got off.
Of fraud.
As soon as I saw him, he got off the bus and ran back to his hiding place in Guildford.
Ooh, now we're narrowing it down now.
Well, that's just where Hello Games are. I assume he's in there doing something. Poor
Cocaine. All right, so our last topic for the evening, Game of the Year. We're slowly getting to that time of the year, men and ladies and gents. We're slowly getting to that point where Game of the Year discussions start coming out. There are a few games left. The season's largely considered done by like mid-December. About the 15th, it's kind of the last of the, like, all the games that are coming out will be out by now. We were talking about this earlier, that movies are done a little bit differently. You got to wait until really the next year, really, before we can talk about what the movie of 2016 was. But for games, the season's largely done really after the 9th, but we're going to wait till about mid-December before we call it. Just real quick, there are a couple of games coming out later that have actually just came out or are coming out real soon. Watch Dogs 2 is one of those games. Dishonored 2 came out recently. And I think we got Last Guardian coming out, and was there anything else? I can't think of it.
I can't think.
You guys remember if there's any other games coming out?
I can't think of anything other than the ones you said.
nope.
I can't think of anything either. I think Gravity Rush 2. No, Gravity Rush is next year.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a couple games coming out left. But real quick, out of the games you guys have played so far, if you had to pick, let's say your top 2 games of 2016, what would you say?
Ooh.
So No Man's Sky, that's allowed, right? I'm kidding.
If that's eligible, so is Minecraft.
Okay.
Well then screw it. The Last of Us again.
Okay. See, I was just
Only
about to
it's
ask
the
that.
remade version.
because I was just about to ask that because like I've been spending way too much time playing Skyrim Remastered. So
no remasters on this list. There's just
okay.
new games that come out this year. What would you say your top?
Doom. There's one. And
well, you think of another one, I'll give one. Completely on the other end of the spectrum, Firewatch.
I heard a lot of good stuff about that game.
Firewatch is definitely up there for me. What about you, Anchor? What's one from you?
I look at a lot of different things when it comes to this list. I look as a whole package, namely. Like, I'd put Doom on the list, so the campaign is that good. It's a nice change of pace. Doom was really a good game to play. The multiplayer didn't really have the longevity I wish it did. So that kind of sucks.
I've just thought of a big game that's coming out that we haven't talked about. Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, that exists.
That's coming out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really stumped. It sounds ridiculous, but since I bought my Xbox One 2 years after its release, I've been playing a lot of like games from the first year or two. Mm-hmm. So like I'm playing like Ori right now, and that's a really fun game. And like I'm playing a lot of games like that. So like new games this year. I'm not sure if Tales of the Borderlands finished coming out this year or not, or if that was last year.
I guess it was last year.
I think that was last year. Yeah.
Dash it all.
I would say right now Titanfall 2 is kind of up there, but I am still on that contact high. So it's not really me speaking logically. But I'd say that because the campaign is amazing. Like it's just really a really great campaign. It's enjoyable.
I thought it was shitty. Especially with the running through shit.
Get out of here. I had a great time playing Titanfall 2's campaign, and the multiplayer is just great as well. I enjoy it. I play it pretty much every day, unless something comes up. But other than that, on the other side, right now, Mafia 3 has still got me.
Really? You're the only person I know that's stuck with it.
Man, I love that story. Like the story and setting have got me staying there. Like, I mean, that's the only thing that hampers it. It's kind of the gameplay and the bugs. I mean, the gameplay is a little more of it's your classic open world kind of collect-a-thon, do-it-all game. But at the same time, it's enjoyable and the setting is strong and it works really well. And that's what I dig about it the most. And it kills me that there's still bugs. It just kills me.
Well, to fuel further rumors that I am in fact, I do in fact work for Sony, I'm going to talk about Uncharted. Because Uncharted is really, really good. Like, objectively good. In terms of a technical masterpiece. You were saying?
It's funny because like Uncharted is one of the great video game series of all time. It's a classic, and I sat down with a buddy, and he was playing through Uncharted 4, and I cannot stand Drake at all. I cannot stand him at all. I just want to punch him through my TV screen. I cannot stand his character at all. I don't know what it is. I've never been able to like him. I understand why Uncharted 4 is a masterpiece, like story-wise, everything else, but cannot get into the game to save my life. You could literally hook me up to an electrical chair and be like, play Uncharted or get electrocuted. I'll take the electrocution.
Whoa.
It's just I'm the same way with Tomb Raider too, though. I tried so hard to get into that game. Just, nope.
Well, the rebuild or the original?
Rebuild.
You didn't like the rebuilds?
Yeah, I even finished it. I finished it. I put myself through it.
I'm saving up to get Rise of the Tomb Raider for PS4. I can't wait to play it.
Just maybe it's I don't like adventure games or what, but no, Uncharted I can't get into. God of War was the only reason I owned a PlayStation.
That's so weird.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to bring up Hitman. Game of the year
Thank you.
version. I love Hitman. I've loved the Hitman series for a long time. And the only thing that really aggravates me about this game is the fact that the episodes just can't come out quick enough.
I just...
On the other hand of that, they've made this game that's been sustaining popularity for a year.
Yeah,
I think it's because of the long, drawn-out waits of the different episodes, but the wait is definitely worth it. Every episode is almost a game in itself.
Absolutely, especially the one in Italy, Sapienza.
Sapienza, yep.
Yeah.
I just finished getting Mastery 20 and all the opportunities and basically all the achievements for the final episode, which was the biggest pain in my head ever. But
they do not make it easy.
God. But honestly, that game, like, I think if I go into my Xbox profile, I think I spent more time on that game. Like, I'm a huge Hitman fanatic. I've always completed 100% of the games. And I think that game I spent way more time on than any other Hitman game. Like, Absolution took me, like, a whole day to beat and then another day to beat it on professional, and then I never touched it again. But I think I've got like 9 days logged into that Hitman game because every time an episode came out, I had to find every little detail, every little opportunity, every weapon, it just drives the OCD crazy.
Anyone here else played Overwatch?
Oh yeah. We should probably consider that too. That'd be a great game.
That's definitely going to be in the running.
Oh, probably.
From a company that's never made a first-person shooter, it's even better.
Yeah.
That's because Blizzard doesn't do bad games.
Well, that's a different discussion.
I'm sure we gave them a chance. Come on, Blizzard, just make a bad game.
I dare you. Make a third-person adventure game. I guarantee you I'll hate it.
Well, let's make a movie out of one of their games.
Ooh. They did.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was forgettable. Sorry.
Not if you're from China.
Yeah.
They loved it in China.
Guys.
They loved it in China so much it's going to get a sequel.
We got to wrap it up here, guys. We got to make that happy hour. We're gonna make happy hour on Titanfall 2. So, all right, guys, it's been great. Thanks, guys, for coming back up. So, even though we had the technical difficulties, it's been really great. Thanks, everybody, for coming out and watching the show. I really appreciate it. Just really, I mean, it's great seeing you guys stick around. Thanks, Philip Robbins. Thanks, Morganism. Thanks, Dr. Gauntlet. Let's see, Christopher Russell. Just thanks everybody who showed up. It's been great having you guys in the comment section. I've been reading all the stuff you guys been saying. I really appreciate it.
Consistent in the comments.
Oh yeah, please everyone here, please like and share this video. Get us some attention out there, and I appreciate everything you guys have done for us. I'll just quickly go over the panel real quick. We had our guest for the evening, Slaver.
Howdy, y'all.
All right, and we also had Undead.
Good to be back on the podcast. You can follow me on Twitter for.
Well,
you'll never know.
Oh.
And we also had James.
Man, wouldn't it be awful if I quitted this?
All right. Everybody, this is Anchorman here. This has been Multiverse Podcast, episode 22. It has been great having you guys out there. We will see you guys later.